All right, guys, welcome back in the live market overview. Listen, before we are heading into the market overview, I have a couple of things lined up for this week. And the things are, how do I plan my week ahead in the trading space? And before every single trading day, there's a list of things that I do before I'm actually going to trade. I'm going to show you these things so you're not going to approach the markets like a retard anymore, but you actually know what to do. I think a lot of beginning people, they lose money in the markets because they just go full retard on the markets instead of having some structure. So today in this market overview, I'm going to give you the structure that you actually need. Now, besides that, we are going to talk about a couple of things that I've mentioned in the previous stream. So when you're looking at this, by the way, guys, sorry for the new people. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, my name is Camille. I also go by the name of Trading Wizard. And on this channel, I share the reality of day trading instead of all of the nonsense you see. So free signals, copy groups and all of the nonsense. No, I made more than 950x publicly in the markets. And I show you what it really takes to make money in the markets. So if you like this, don't forget to already like this video because it triggers the algorithm and subscribe to the channel, because today I woke up pretty happy, yeah, with 18,000 subscribers. Yeah, I want to thank all of you for believing in me, for loving the content, and I hope to do a lot more than this. Okay, so when we're looking at this, first things first, we have Robotics, AWS, trading importance, begin structure of the week, begin structure of the day, 996 versus 4-hour work week, and the market overview. These are the things that we are going to walk through in this video. Make sure that you have a notebook or a Kindle ready to take some notes. I don't like it that people look at me like I'm some Netflix series. No, I want you to implement the things that we are going to discuss, okay? Do remember that nothing in this stream must be considered as financial advice. Everything is for educational purpose only. But I'm going to give you a couple of mindset things and structure things that in my opinion are pretty important when you're looking at the trading space. Now, when you're looking at this, last week I've mentioned the robotics, okay? You can see literally right there for everyone. Right there is my Chinese robot. Okay, I have multiple robots in my house. I have a lot of robots that are on the way, and I'm an investor in a couple of robot companies. The reason for this is because I believe a lot in robotics. And in the previous stream last week, I talked about the importance of this, and I talked about that a lot of jobs are going to be replaced by this. And when you're looking at last week, I don't want you guys to be shocked, but Amazon plans to replace more than 500,000 jobs with robots. So when you're looking at this, I want you to understand that there were almost more than 160 people being cancelled from hiring because they are going to replace them by robots. And again, the stream was 3 days before this. I don't know Jeff Bezos. I had zero insider knowledge. But I do know that this is something that I'm looking into for a couple of years now. And I wanted to warn all of you. The reason why it says here trading importance is very simple. We are a sector that can survive while all of this is happening. So just for you to see the importance, when you're looking at jobs of lawyers, for example, I'm sorry to tell you, but when you're looking at one of the biggest threats for lawyers is AI. One of the reasons for this, just for a simple reason, it passed the bar a couple of times already. So basically the exam of lawyers. Besides this, one of the biggest problems in the law space, so when you're looking at, for example, victims, they cannot step up for themselves. Why? Because lawyers are too expensive. AI will basically bridge the gap for this, okay? Corruption, it's not possible anymore since there will be AI in there. There are a lot of jobs, and I'm talking about the high one, that will be replaced sooner than a lot of people think. I want you to understand that it has never been more important as a trader to see and understand this. Why? Because you are in a position where you can benefit from this. And again, do I agree and do I like what is about to happen with the world? No. Okay? To be honest, I think it's super scary. If I could delete it all with a button when I'm looking at AGI and all of the stuff, I would. Because I see where the world could be heading. The reason why I still teach all of my clients about this and about the importance of it is because I want them to be prepared instead of surprised. I want them to be invested in the infrastructure that if it grows, at least they get filthy rich from it, instead of poorer by the day because they don't have any jobs anymore. When I'm looking at the investing space, you can still invest in the infrastructure of it. When I'm looking at the trading space, you can still invest in the infrastructure of this. So this is one of the reasons why I'm very sharp on this, and why all of my clients now are learning about the infrastructures of AI. Besides this, for me, it's very important that they know how to spot a real AI investment, and basically a Ponzi scheme. So when you're looking at the previous run of AI in the crypto space, there were so many projects called out by your biggest favorite influencer. So when you're looking at a lot of crypto chatbots and all of the stuff, it was nothing. It was just a wrapper of GPT, and it did absolutely nothing. By having a little understanding of AI, we're not going to be a victim of this, but it is the people who were ignorant who got a victim of this. So when I'm looking at this, I want to just emphasize it one more time. When you are looking at the world now and you are watching this video, it most probably means that you're in the trading space and in the investing space. I want you to go double down on this, because in the upcoming years, this will be one of the only lasting sectors out there. Okay, so make sure that you're going all in now. Don't get distracted or anything else. You're heading into the winter now. Make it your winter arc. I don't know how you have to convince yourself to be motivated. Just make sure that you do it. I at least want to be the guy who basically warned all of you to take it more serious. But because again, for me, it's all about being prepared and not surprised. And I want to make sure that all of my clients are prepared and not surprised. And besides the prepared thing, I think that the people who invest now in these kind of sectors are the ones who will be part of the ultra wealthy in the upcoming years. And this is something that I want to position as many people for, okay? Besides this, if you're not in my free school yet, make sure that you join the free school below, or if you want to directly just try to be a client, make sure that you apply, and we go on a discovery call to see if you have the right mindset in place, okay? Now, when you're looking at this, guys, it's very simple. The begin structure of the week. Every single week when I begin trading, I ask myself a couple of things. And this is from a range trading perspective. Again, if you don't know what range trading is, make sure to join the free school where I literally explain everything when it comes down to ranges and how you can find them yourself as well. It is very simple. I ask myself the question first. I do this every single Sunday. 1, are we in an independent market? Okay, what do I mean with independent market? I'm a crypto trader, so I want to know, okay, when I'm looking at the crypto space, who is the leader of the crypto space? It's Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, let's say, for example, 50% of the times, it follows the S&P 500. I want to see, are we in that 50% where it follows it, or are we in the 50% where it's an independent market? At the moment, for example, Bitcoin is following the S&P. So if I want to know where Bitcoin is heading, the only thing I have to do is see where's the S&P heading and is it in the same range. This is the reason why when we're looking at the past week, and I will show this later in the update, I was able to make the prediction again of where BTC was going. Again, more on that later. Now, then I'm asking myself, where are we in the range? So it's very simple. As you guys can see right here I have one range here, and I have one range here, okay? I want to ask myself, where am I in the range? Because there are only certain areas in the range where I'm actually trading. So it is called a red zone, and there's basically only the most important areas for me are certain parts of the range low, the mid-range, and the range high. So I have to ask myself, are we either here, here, or here? If we are in between, I won't do anything until it comes back towards one of those levels. So I ask myself at a Sunday, okay, where are we currently in the range? Are we in a red zone or are we outside of a red zone? If we are outside, then I might have to wait. So this is the one where I can ask myself, which pairs look the most promising? It's very simple. I have a couple of pairs, most of the time, not more than 4, that I look at. Every single time when I'm looking at those 4 pairs, I I ask myself, are they in a similar range? Now, this is a big mistake a lot of people make. Once they are trading, they don't ask themselves the simple question, am I in a similar range as other ones? A lot of times, especially when BTC is following, everything is following BTC. So what will happen is you will go in a long, and then you will see that on another pair, it has the same triggers, and on another one, and you, with your smart ass, thinks, I'm only risking 2% for a trade, and I see 5 decent setups, so I'm going to take them. Listen, guys, if you take 5 times exactly the same setup, but it's just on a different pair, I want you to understand that you are in a 5 times bigger position than normal. So no, you're not risking 2%, you're risking 10%. Because if one goes down and you are wrong on one, you will directly be wrong on all 5. Okay? This is something a lot of people do. So I ask myself, are we in a range with independent price action, or are we in a similar range to all of the other pairs? If I'm in a similar range, I just trade the pair that, in my opinion, is the leader. So in this case, BTC for me makes the most sense. Okay. Now, when I'm looking at this, I ask myself, okay, so I pick my pair now. So for example, I pick BTC, and then I ask myself, okay, is BTC here in a place where I can directly go into it? Most of the time, I would say 80 to 90% of the time, it's not. And I have to wait until it creates the triggers in the red zone. So I will say, hey, now I have to keep my eye on the price for this area here. Why? Because most probably all of the triggers will be in this area here. So I'm going to put all of my notifications for the right time frames on the potential triggers. So I'm marking out, okay, BTC for at least the upcoming 2 to 3 days. I have to keep it in mind. Why? Because we are in an area of interest in my range. So I have to spot this. If I'm looking at this, then most probably all of the other tokens that I'm looking at are in the same position. Okay? So I ask myself that. Then I set my alerts. Okay? All of this I do on a Sunday. Yeah, so this is my Sunday overview for me. Now, we're going to do something that you see every single day on my Instagram, where I make a story where I'm with my wizards on a morning call, okay? Every single one who is in my group, every single morning who is at live trading, needs to send us a morning update, where they show, hey, this is what I'm seeing for the upcoming day. This is what I'm seeing from the price action this morning. Why? Because I want to make it a habit for them to do it every single morning. Because only then you will have freedom in trading. Now, I will come back to that later. But very simple. When you're looking at the begin structure, okay, I will do a general range overview. So I'm looking now, instead of the 1 day, for example, at the 4 hours or at the 1 hour. And I see, okay, the ranges that I made yesterday or on a Sunday, are they still valid, or is there a breakout? So sometimes, especially in the crypto space, it's a more volatile space. So sometimes you will get a crazy breakout while you're sleeping. Can happen. I wake up, first things first, look if all of my ranges are still valid. If they're not valid, then I have to see, did it go to my breakout range? If it even broke out of the breakout range, most of the time it doesn't happen, then I have to redraw the range, okay? Now, once this is set, I'm going to ask myself, okay, what is the key pair that I want to trade today? I always pick one, and if that one is so clear, then I will pick, for example, another one to pull out. Most of the time, I will find 1 or 2 pairs to trade, okay? On a day, that's it. There's a small chance I will have 4, because again, when I'm looking at it, if it has similar price action, I will just pick 1. If it has independent price action, focusing on 4 trades at the same time, I don't already have the best hairline anymore, and I would like to keep this, okay? If I'm going in all 4 at the same day, I might have to visit Turkey a lot more than I'm already doing, okay? Something I don't want to do. Now, besides this, I will set the tone for the day. So I will ask myself, am I going to scalp today? Am I going to day trade today? Or am I going to swing trade today? When I'm looking at my clients, they first start scalping, then they start day trading, and after that, they become swing traders. Why? Every single trade is a lesson. So this means that if I do one trade equals one lesson, okay? In the beginning stages on scalping, you can easily do 2 to, let's say, for example, 4 trades a day. So this means that you will have 4 lessons in one day. When I'm swing trading, I will maybe do 2 trades a week. So that's only 2 lessons a week. In the beginning, in my opinion, the lessons are equal. So I'm always doing scalping first, okay? And then I would say if scalping goes well, that's when you're moving to day trading. And after that, you're moving to swing trading because you want to higher up the lessons and keep it quality, of course. So when I'm looking at that, then I'm going to see, okay, now I want to mark out the potential setups if there is a key leading pair for this one. So I want to see, okay, where in the range is it? Is it at the red zone? Okay. Again, it doesn't happen very often that I wake up and that the price is in an area in my red zone that I can directly trade with all of the triggers. And this is where, in my opinion, a lot of people get ruined by trading. They think, because of social media and all of the nonsense, that as a trader, you need to be online 24/7. 24/7 be behind your screens. This is not the case. I would even say that the more you will do this, the more you will overtrade, the more money you will lose. Okay? Make sure that you have such a clear strategy where you can say, hey, so for me it's very simple. When I'm looking at this, I have to wait now until it comes back to here. In the meanwhile, I won't do anything. Okay? Why? Because the odds are, in my opinion, against me if I'm going to play it here now. So it's very simple for me to say, hey, I'm going to put the notifications when the price goes towards here. Yeah? What can I do? Now I will just wait. Yeah? Put the notifications of the price hitting my area of interest. Get myself a coffee. Go to a restaurant with my wife, play with some Lego, read some books, do whatever I want. That is the freedom of trading that I want. Okay? This is the freedom of trading that a lot of people want. So when I'm looking at my Instagram today, I did something, and that is I made a story where I asked people for what do you want in life, okay? And everyone said, I want freedom, freedom, freedom. Yeah, all the same answer. Well, most people, they get so caught up by being behind the screen 24/7 that they don't see anything of why they started it for. Well, in my opinion, you can easily have this, but you need to structure it in the right way. Again, you need to have the patience to wait for your potential setups and triggers and to set your notifications in there. When I'm looking at my clients and the reason why some people will take longer than other people, it is because they are 24/7 behind the charts, FOMOing into positions and making imaginary triggers just to do something. In most jobs, indeed, the more you put in, the more you get out. Yeah? With trading, it is not the more you trade, the more you get out. Yeah? It is the more quality you have, the more you get out, not the quantity. And this is what a lot of people make mistakes on. Okay? So it's very simple. Notifications / waiting is ultimate freedom. That is when I'm looking at my begin structure. Now, the reason why I said 996 versus 4-hour work week here is very simple, because I think some people now will think, oh, but Camille said just relax and I don't have to be behind the screens all day. No. When I'm looking at this, in the beginning stages, one of the key things that you have to do is understand market structure. So basically, understand the price inside of a range. This is something you can always study, yeah, while you don't have to actively trade. Okay? So you can always see, okay, I see this pattern coming back and back and back in my ranges. What is it? Study, 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 study. Now, when I'm looking at this, when I'm looking at Europe, we are literally pushing now towards a 4-day work week, sorry. So they are pushing for 4 days instead of 5 days, okay? A 4-day work week. Because we live in such a stressful environment and all of the nonsense. Yeah? Well, when you're looking at China, they introduced something that's called the 996. You work from 9 in the morning until 9 in the evening, and you do this 6 days a week. Who do you think is going to win in this case? Okay, China, who has people working from 9 in the morning until 9 in the evening for 6 days a week, or you have people who already feel depressed after 5 days of normal work. Yeah. What I want you to understand, again, the reason why I teach everyone about robotics and why I teach everyone about the potential opportunities in the AI space and in the working space is because I want you to build an advantage towards the competition and the world. If you are going to say, yeah, no, but all of my friends, they work 4 hours, all fine. Yeah. If you don't want to work as hard as other people do, yeah, then in my opinion, don't judge them for their hard work and don't desire what they will have. Yeah. If you're not willing to do all of the hard work that is required, then just lower down the desire. Sorry to tell you. But a lot of people of you, they have a lot of high desires and they are not willing to put in the work. The only one you are tricking is yourself. The only one who you are making depressed is yourself. It's that simple. Okay? So when I'm looking at this, in my opinion, it's better to go to a 997, yeah? To work like crazy and get this advantage in. And again, I'm not talking about trading, but I'm talking about understanding the markets. I'm talking about putting an understanding in AI. You can read any AI book now. Next week, it will be outdated. Yeah. So you will constantly have to evolve. And then you have to see the opportunities in the trading space. Okay? And the infrastructure of it and how to invest in it. Now, this is the first part of the market overview. When I'm looking at the actual market overview, it is being okay with being on the sideline. When I'm looking at this, last week we literally said, for the people who still know, I said, I'm not interested in doing anything here because I want to wait until we get a break and a push from the S&P. Okay? I said, if the S&P closes above, yeah, so we were here, I said, if we are closing above, in my opinion, it is highly likely that we see at the end of the week a BTC back inside of the green level. You can watch it back if you don't believe me, okay? I said, if we break above, we will get BTC back inside of the green level, and it could be a very interesting week. Yeah. Again, this was last week. I don't know Satoshi Nakamoto. Yeah. Again, I don't know Jeff Bezos or anyone. I just know what ranges are. You can do the exact same thing. Free school below. Yeah. When I'm looking at this, very simple. What do I want to see now? Is it normal for the S&P to, after a break of the range, retest here before it goes up like it did here? Yes, it would. Is it good for BTC to say, hey, broke back inside of this range, come for a retest now? Hey, what did I just explain? Right here. What do I have to wait for now? I have to wait for BTC to come back towards here to give me the potential triggers. If BTC does this, what does this with the entire market? Everything quite looks the same as this inside of the ranges. So what do I do now? I ask myself, which pair, in my opinion, looks the best to trade? So when I'm looking at this one, TRX, this is not something I want to trade. Yes, it looks like it could break back inside of this range. The only problem is that it will have major resistance levels on the way before it actually goes to the mid. So this is not something I'm looking for. Again, market structure inside of a range. Same goes for Dodge. Dodge, yes, it is at the mid, but to be honest, this right here, to play it from here to here, not really my thing. When I'm looking at this, same problem. When I'm looking at this, same problem. So what is my thinking process? Okay, if all of those look, what do? I will just stick to BTC this week. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's the main leader. Again, I didn't do any trades right here. Because for me, it's better to say, hey, all of the money I made shorting publicly here, again, I literally did this one on the stream, all of the money I made here, I don't want to waste my capital in uncertain price action. Again, this is something a lot of people do. They made a lot of money on the down or up move, or they absolutely milk the range. But now, because they don't have the patience, they are going to waste it in an area where they don't have their edge. Sometimes it's better to say as a trader, hey, it's in between ranges. My edge is not in between ranges because I'm a range trader. You know what? For 5 days, I'm just going to do nothing. Why? Because if the odds are against me, I would rather say, hey, I'm just going to wait until I'm in an area again where I actually know what to do. So my vision for this week is very simple. I will wait for the response of the S&P since BTC literally proved this week that it's still following it. Again, this is literally something what we have discussed last week. What I said on this stream, I said if it pumps above the mid, most likely BTC will be back inside of the green, and in the green for me are the opportunities. So it is a pretty good start of the week. If there is a dump tomorrow, I'm not scared, like what a lot of people would. Why? Because they are now afraid that it's they basically have PTSD of this. For me, it's very simple. As long as we hold this level here, I'm fine. I am a range and FIB trader, so I will just place my FIB here, and I will just wait for clear price structure. Oh, boom, surprise, surprise. One of my most important levels, exactly on the low. Again, I'm waiting now for this retracement here, and then I will play it into the entire market. Again, for now, these don't look very promising to trade. Later in the week, if we got the rejection, or maybe not, I can see, okay, where is it in the range now? If, for example, it goes down and let's say AVAX now creates the triggers for here for a potential long, I might take it, all depending on how the price is going to respond, okay? So, to recap it, again, very simple. The beginning of the week, very important moment. Day structure, I do this every single morning. Again, if you want to be the next one on the morning calls, don't forget to book in a call below. Make sure that you work your ass off. Again, if you like this kind of content and you want to see more of the reality of day trading, don't forget to like this video. Okay, I don't know how many viewers there are. I hope a lot. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for the 18,000 subscribers, because that is quite an achievement for me. Thank you, and I will see you all next week. Ciao, ciao.